A lot of people talk about hoodoo, but not a lot of people talk about where it actually came from. Some people think it's just spells, some think it's superstition, some think it's something dark. But the truth, hoodoo carries history, survival, resistance, healing, and wisdom. And if you practice it or even speak on it, you should understand that. Hello everyone and welcome to or back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something very important, the real history of hoodoo. Not the social media version, not the watered down version, not the scary movie version. We're talking about how hoodoo formed, why it formed, and why understanding the roots matters. Because once you know the history, you'll never look at it the same way again. First, let's clear something up. Hoodoo is generally understood as a tradition African American folk spiritual practice that developed primarily in the United States. It blends spiritual beliefs, herbal knowledge, root work, prayer, protection work, ancestor reverence, and practical wisdom. It was often used for protection, healing, justice, love, luck, cleansing, and strength during hardship. Now here's where people often get confused. Hoodoo is not the same thing as religion, though it is often practiced alongside religion, especially Christianity. And hoodoo is not one single system with one rule book. It evolved differently in different families, communities, and regions. To understand hoodoo, you have to go back before America. Many enslaved Africans brought with them spiritual traditions, healing systems, and ways of understanding the world from West and Central Africa. Different ethnic groups had their own traditions, languages, and practices that included the use of herbs and roots, spiritual protections, divination methods, ancestor reverence, sacred objects, power in spoken word and prayer, and community healing traditions. Now remember, these were not random beliefs. These were sophisticated systems of knowledge passed down through generations. When people were forcibly brought to America through slavery, they could be stripped of names, languages, and family connections. But people still carried memory, and they carried methods. That matters. Hoodoo developed under brutal conditions. People living under slavery often had limited control over their lives, movement, safety, and families. So hoodoo became more than spiritual practice. It became a source of comfort, a source of agency, a source of hope, and a hidden language of power. Think about it. When systems deny you justice, people find other ways to protect themselves. When medicine is inaccessible, people preserve healing traditions. When people are oppressed, spiritual resistance often grows. That's why hoodoo can't be separated from survival. It wasn't entertainment, it was lived reality. Some use this reality for prayer and root work, for protection from violence, favor in impossible situations, healing sickness, keeping families safe, and seeking justice when courts would not. The context is everything. So let's talk about another thing that people often misunderstand when it comes to hoodoo. Why are psalms, prayer, and biblical references common in many hoodoo traditions? Because over time, African American communities often practice hoodoo alongside Christianity. The Bible became a spiritual tool, especially the book of Psalms. People use scripture in protection prayers, blessing work, comfort during grief, strength during struggle, justice-focused petitions. That doesn't erase African roots. It shows adaptation. It shows how people used what was available while preserving deeper traditions underneath. That ability to adapt is part of hoodoo history too. A lot of hoodoo also lived in everyday life. Not everything looked dramatic. Sometimes it looked like knowing what herbs helped with illness, knowing cleansing traditions, knowing protective habits passed through family, and knowing what to carry, burn, pray over, or place in the home. This is why older generations often held wisdom without always calling it hoodoo. Sometimes they just called it what grandma did, what mama taught, what other people do. And that's important because not all tradition was written down, a lot was lived. Hoodoo did not look exactly the same everywhere. Practices in South Carolina, Georgia, Low Country, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Florida, Virginia, and the Carolinas could vary based on migration, family lineage, environment, and local history. Some areas emphasize certain herbs, some emphasize prayer, some emphasize roots, charms, washes, or ancestor customs. That means no one person speaks for all hoodoo, and social media often oversimplifies that. So let's talk about why do people misunderstand hoodoo today? Well, there's a few reasons. A lot of commercialization. People package it into trends, aesthetics, or shortcuts. There's sensationalism. People focus only on fear, revenge, or drama. There's erasure. People ignore the African history behind it. And there's family silence. Some elders didn't discuss it openly because of stigma, religion, or safety. So younger generations often have to rebuild knowledge from fragments. That's why respectful education matters. If you're interested in hoodoo today, respect looks like this: learning the history, understanding the people who preserved it, not reducing it to trends, being honest about what you know and do not know, valuing elders, sources, and community memory, also avoiding fear-based nonsense. And if this is a part of your lineage, our family story, it can also mean reconnecting thoughtfully. No rush, no performance, no pretending. So in closing, hoodoo is not just spells. It is history. It is memory. It is adaptation. It is resilience. It is people finding ways to heal, protect, and endure when the world gave them very little. And when you understand that, you stop seeing hoodoo as entertainment. You start seeing it as inheritance. I thank you guys for tuning in to another video. Thank you to returning to my channel to watch another video on hoodoo. I hope this video was very informative, especially for those that are beginning this journey and this path. Many blessings to you. I know that you will be successful. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, do feel free to leave them in the comments section. I do enjoy reading your comments and I try to answer to the ones that I do see. And of course, always, always, always remember to be you, be free, and be magical. I'll see you guys in the next one.